Welcome to the Lalulah podcast, real life conversations about modern sexuality and how to live a happy, healthy, turned on life. I'm your host Laura Allen, a holistic health coach and founder of Lalulah, an online platform offering natural erotica toys as well as the educational tools you need to expand your pleasure in and outside the bedroom. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Lalulah podcast. This is a little bit of a different podcast. I'm going to call them the bonus podcasts purely because they're like a little bonus from myself personally, and they won't be released weekly or anything like that. They'll just be released when I kind of feel like it, to be honest, or when something is like coming up that's really valuable that I feel like I just need to share. So basically, I tried for the very first time some THC lubricant recently. So if you're wondering what that is, it's basically the active component in marijuana, the psychedelic component that is found in marijuana and in cannabis. And it's infused into a topical cream or gel and used as a lubricant. So I just wanted to really share about my personal experience because I feel like there's a lot of hype out in the world at the moment about CBD and medical cannabis. And while there is a lot of really sound research supporting the uses of CBD and medical cannabis, and that seems really cool, there's also just like, I always get really skeptical, it seems to be becoming like quite the trend. So I was really curious about what a THC lubricant would actually feel like. I had already heard a lot about CBD suppositories to help with endometriosis and period pain and so on, and that kind of really sparked my curiosity. And then I was like, oh my God, like imagine a weed lubricant, like stoned pussy, yay. I mean, I also just want to make it clear now that I'm skeptical because marijuana is not something that I engage in ever, really. I'm not a smoker, have never really been into it, and I can't say I'm just not like a huge supporter, but I am really, really curious about it, and obviously I'm really excited to see where the science takes it in terms of helping people. So yes, here we go. I tried THC Lube, and here is what happened. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so the first time I tried it was actually with myself, and I used it with my yoni egg practice that I do in the mornings, and I applied it topically and a little bit on the inside of my vulva and a little bit inside my vagina. And then I worked with my yoni egg. And I think what I did wrong in this instance is I wasn't fully engaged. Like, I wasn't totally engaged in my practice. I was a bit distracted. And I didn't really drop in properly to what I was feeling sensationally. And then I just kind of went on with my day, and I almost forgot that I had even used it. So I don't really know if that's like a telling fact about how effective, weed lubes actually are. But yeah, I gotta say, it was a bit of a like non-event the first time that I tried it. I was just kind of like, yeah, I didn't really get much out of that at all other than lubrication. But the next time I tried it, which was a little bit later, I applied it topically, and I actually let it rest for about 20 minutes. And that was when I started to engage with my partner. And this is when I started to feel something. Look, I have to say, like, my experience overall was quite subtle, and I wouldn't be like writing home about it in terms of like, oh my God, I had the most amazing orgasmic experience of my entire life. But I did notice some like subtle differences in how my yoni was feeling. So the first thing that I felt was a little bit of heat. It wasn't like hot, like ouch. It was kind of just like a warming, pulsating feeling. And I guess it is tricky to kind of like pinpoint it totally to the lubricant, because of course it could have just been the fact that I was aroused whilst engaging in lovemaking. But it did feel unique, and it did feel different. The next thing that I wanted to mention was that I did get very, very wet, and you know, I'm a self-lubricating lady, but on this particular occasion, it did feel like it was just kind of a little bit relentless in terms of like just this like constant flow and stimulation of, you know, the sort of moisture ducts that are in there. So that was exciting too. And you know, when one thing happens, it all kind of starts to snowball and like add sensation, and the pleasure builds, and you get excited, and it's like, oh my God, what's happening? And the last thing that I really, really experienced that I did get excited about was this feeling of kind of like pins and needles, but not in a bad way, in a good way. I really felt like there was just like, if you were to just really softly like rub like your vulva or something, stroke it almost, not rub it, but very gently, and you can kind of like feel the traces that your fingers leave over your body, and those kind of footsteps in a way of your fingers would really stay and resonate on my yoni. Like it would just like, I could feel exactly where it had been touched, and in those areas it would start to tingle and have this kind of sparkling, ticklish sensation. And that was really, really cool. And I gotta say, like, I had to get pretty quiet to like really notice it, and it was very, very subtle, but it was also very beautiful. So I'm excited to explore more with THC lubricants. I know that there's a bunch of different brands out there with all sorts of recommendations on like how much you can use, when's the best time to use it, and so on and so forth. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not really here to talk about all of the like facts and like evidence that we've got about CBD and THC and all of that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to be really honest about my personal experience, and those are the things that I found happened when I was using it. And yeah, I'm excited to like keep an eye open for what's coming available and like the different styles of lube that will be on offer. So there you have it. This is just a really short little episode. I didn't want to make it too super long. I know that other episodes are about an hour, so this is just a little quick hit of THC lubricant update. So I hope you enjoyed, and there's going to be more bonus episodes coming out too, just with like little snippets on how to live a turned on life and everything that comes with that. So thanks y'all, thanks for listening, and yeah, see you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, and don't forget to share it with someone who you think could benefit from hearing it too. You can also sign up for Lalulah news and stay up to date with all the juicy content that we only share on email. And I want to take a moment to honor you for following your curiosity and prioritizing your pleasure in this way. And until next time, thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back with another episode soon.